Miami marketed itself as a promise rendered in light, a city where youth was not merely admired but monetized, where beauty functioned as infrastructure and the night served as both showroom and audition hall. By the early 1990s, South Florida had become an international fashion hub, particularly for swimwear and commercial modeling, drawing young women from across the United States, Latin America, and Eastern Europe. Many were teenagers, many were legally adults, but barely so, and many were not. Welcome to Carl's Mind Chimes. I'm Carl. As Will Smith sang in 1999 hit song Miami, so cash in your dough and flow to this fashion show. Pound for pound, anywhere you go. Yo, ain't no city in the world like this. And if you ask how I know, I gots to plead the fifth. Underage models. The city's rise coincided with a legal framework that did not forbid minors from occupying adult spaces. Florida law barred those under 21 from drinking alcohol, but, critically, not from being present in bars, nightclubs, and alcohol-centered venues unless a local ordinance said otherwise. The state regulated consumption. It declined to regulate exposure. That distinction, technical, quiet, and lucrative, became the scaffolding beneath Miami's fashion economy, i.e., the night as marketplace. Unlike New York or Paris, Miami's modeling ecosystem did not revolve solely around agencies and studios. It extended into nightlife. Clubs, hotel lounges, and late-night venues doubled as informal marketplaces where scouts, agents, photographers, promoters, and clients mingled freely. Visibility after dark often translated into work by daylight. 18 to 20-year-old models, legally barred from drinking but legally permitted to enter, were ubiquitous. So were younger teenagers, particularly foreign recruits whose age and immigration status were poorly monitored. The venues were lawful, the arrangements were informal, oversight was minimal. This was not an underground economy, it was the business model. 2. What the law allowed. Florida's post-1986 alcohol regime followed federal pressure to raise the drinking age to 21, but stopped short of excluding underage persons from licensed premises. Establishments that served food operated as mixed-use venues or did not exceed certain alcohol sales thresholds could legally admit under 21 patrons. Local governments could impose stricter rules. Many did not. Miami largely refrained. A statewide statute barring under 21 entry into bars and nightclubs, common in other jurisdictions, would have disrupted nightlife-based recruiting, international modeling pipelines, and tourism revenue. Florida never enacted such a law. The absence was not inadvertent. It reflected economic priorities. The result was a structural gray zone, teenagers legally present in adult spaces saturated with alcohol, money, and power. Third, Epstein enters the frame. Jeffrey Epstein did not invent this ecosystem, but he exploited conditions that made exploitation easier. No credible evidence suggests Epstein controlled Miami's fashion industry, but he did not need to. He operated within an environment where youth access was normalized, adult oversight was fragmented, and the law treated presence as morally neutral. Predators do not require conspiracies, they require permeability. IV. Silence as policy. Florida law did not require clubs to ask why minors were present after midnight. It did not require modeling agencies to segregate teenage labor from nightlife recruiting. It did not require Miami to reconcile its fashion ambitions with child protection norms. This was not ignorance, it was policy by omission. The same permissive legal structure that fueled Miami's rise as a fashion capital also reduced friction for those seeking to exploit young people. The system privileged economic flow over protective friction. It asked few questions and enforced fewer answers. After the fact. When Epstein's crimes became undeniable, after his 2008 plea deal, and again after his 2019 federal arrest, the dominant question was how such abuse could have persisted for so long. One answer lies not in individual depravity alone, but in institutional tolerance, a legal regime that separated drinking from presence, a city that conflated glamour with legitimacy, and an industry that treated youth as a renewable resource. Miami was not Epstein's accomplice, but it was a permissive stage. The unfinished reckoning. Today, Miami remains a global fashion hub. Compliance language has improved, safeguards exist, but the foundational question remains unresolved. Should an economy built on youth be allowed to operate without youth-specific protections? The past offers a warning written in fine print. Where law declines to intervene, exploitation does not need permission, only opportunity. Thanks for reading, listening, or watching Mind Chimes. Please like and subscribe.